Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the interior of a Mini. Obviously, it's a classic Mini, it's really small in here, suits me quite well, obviously. But this isn't any normal Mini. No, this is a heavily resto-modded Mini, restored and modified by David Brown Automotive. But more than that, this is an electric classic Mini. It's called the Mini eMastered rather than remastered, get it? And yes, it's by David Brown Automotive, a British firm, and oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I've just driven over from Battersea Power Station to a residential bit of Battersea, so I can just park up and have a little chat. And it's just fantastic, isn't it? It's a lovely spec for a start. The fit and finish is just absolutely exquisite. I quite like the gradiated, is that the word? Gradiated? I don't know. How the dashboard has been painted, I quite like that. Love the wooden steering wheel, obviously. It smells beautiful in here. The leather, oh, it's delicious. I could eat it. Leather seats in the back. I'm not sure how much space there is there, but it looks good, doesn't it? It looks really good. Lots of metal touch points, lots of sort of toggle switches and knobs and dials and things. Apple CarPlay if you want it. I haven't got that set up with my phone, but there's navigation there anyway. Oh yeah, it's really nice. That's wonderful as well. That's sort of a really nice wool roof lining and sun visors. It all screams quality. And it should, because it's really expensive. We'll get back to that in a minute. For now, spec sheet. 110 miles of range, about 3 hours to charge. The battery is 18.8 kilowatt hours, so pretty small. It's in the bonnet where the engine used to be. So it's a 72 kilowatt motor, 175 newton meters of torque, so it's pretty torquey. 0 to 62 miles an hour in 8.5 seconds. It feels kind of nippy around town. I've just had a quick drive now. It feels pretty good, but 8.5 to 60, that's kind of similar, isn't it, to an original Mini? Maybe one that's had a bit of a tune, bit of a soup up. Front wheel drive, obviously you can tell actually if you accelerate, a little bit wet today, you can feel it sort of pulling at the wheel slightly. 92 miles an hour top speed, not that we'll be doing that today. Yeah, I love it, it's so cool. Anyway, there's a bit of construction work going on over there. I'm a bit worried you can hear it on the microphone, so let's go out for a little drive. So to get started, seat belts, obviously. Well, say obviously, old Minis didn't necessarily have them, did they? There. Right, so foot on the brake, power button for 3 seconds. I was told sometimes it's got an immobiliser, so central locking, remote central locking on a Mini. Press that. Oh, and it's actually woken up. It's been doing that actually. Instead of using the power button, I've kind of pressed the power button and then unlocked it, and then it's come to life. Whatever. Okay, so it's awake. We've got wipers, we've got indicators, we've got everything we need. Gear stick down here, as the original was. Back for drive, middle for neutral, and then lift the thing up and push it forward for reverse. Manual handbrake, 2 pedals, a steering wheel, some mirrors that are really small and I can't see much, but remember it's an old car, so visibility over the shoulder is fantastic, and it's a small car, so no problem in London traffic. Oh no, it's not on, it's not in drive. Is it on now? Drive. Oh, yep, there we go. That's the thing with electric cars, isn't it? You don't really know if they're on or not until you start driving. I will try not to sing the Self-Preservation Society all day. So obviously there's quite a pronounced whine from the motor, but I don't mind that at all. It gives it a little bit of character, doesn't it? Because if it was completely silent, I think it'd just be a bit soulless. That's the argument, isn't it, with these cars? Have you taken the soul away by making it electric? And I would say with something like an E-Type Jaguar, remember I drove one of those in a previous video that had been electrified, I think yes, you are taking some of the soul away. And if you were to do it with something like, you know, a Ferrari 250, God forbid, then yeah, it's sacrilegious, isn't it? But, it's quite a busy junction, sorry. But a car like this, the engine was never really part of the story, was it? Never really part of the character of the car. Being small and fun and alert and a quick little car to nip in and out of traffic, that's what the Mini was all about, and that is still very much present in this car. The brakes are really good. I just had to brake a little bit then for traffic. Yeah, the brakes are good, but it has got power steering. So when you think of London in the swing 60s and everyone's driving around in old Minis, there wasn't loads of traffic, was there? But it's very pleasant in here, isn't it? It's quiet. I could have the music on or the radio if I wanted, or a podcast. It's civilised, it's comfortable, it's not steaming up like an old Mini would be doing on a day like this. I don't feel vulnerable in traffic. It doesn't feel tiny. I mean, it is a tiny car. It's narrower than my MX-5. I'm getting used to this now, and I'm absolutely loving it. The mirrors are tiny, but yeah, by modern standards, but visibility over the shoulder is so good that really you don't need the mirrors as much as you might do in a modern car. So yeah, the price. I alluded to this earlier. It is rather expensive. It's £125,000 plus tax. So that's another 20% in this country. So yeah, not cheap. 150 grand, sir, for a Mini, but it's bloody good fun, isn't it? Even just driving around London on a rainy October day. It's Halloween, actually, today. It's quite a spooky price, isn't it? Even driving around London on a day like today, in traffic, I'm smiling. It's just fun. And it just could be your everyday runaround, couldn't it? A few people have been looking, not as many as I expected, actually. I've had a few people sort of wave and give thumbs up and just look at it in traffic, but I expected a bit more, you know, but maybe a very tidy classic Mini in this part of London isn't unusual. I don't know. I'm really enjoying this, as I keep saying, but even sitting in traffic, the accelerator's really nicely calibrated, and that's something that even big car manufacturers struggle to get right, or there's a lot of variation between one car and another. It's nice. You can just very gently push the car along in traffic. There's no sort of crudeness to how the motor engages or disengages. There's a slight thud, having said that, but that's more something you feel rather than actually affects the movement of the car. Brakes are really nice. Nice firm pedal, immediate action. They feel pretty strong. I'm sure there's some regen going on as well to help out. Steering's great, it's assisted, but it's still got a bit of weight to it. It's not as dead as modern cars are. The ride is decent. It's kind of firm, but it's actually okay. You're going over some of the bigger speed bumps, you do have to go slowly. And it you know, rides like an old car. You're not going to get away from that. But then you wouldn't expect it to ride like a Rolls Royce, would you? That's not the point. Again, it's about character, isn't it? It's about retaining enough of the original car's character to make it believable. And yeah, you've lost the engine, but it really doesn't matter. That engine, the original engine of the old Mini, yeah, it was clever the way it was mounted sideways, if you like, to take up as little space as possible in the engine bay, to make the car as small as possible. But it was never the main, sort of the headliner of the car, was it? I think this is electrified classic cars done right. Things like this, Fiat 500, Citroen 2CV, cars like that, I think, should be made electric. I think it retains enough of the character of the car for it to work. Sorry, I've got my sunglasses on, haven't I? That's really annoying. Yeah, it retains enough of the original character of the car because the engine was never the main event. Sorry, I keep saying that, but I think it's important to get that across because loads of people, I'm sure, will look at this and say, oh no, it's sacrilege, it's wrong, you shouldn't be doing it. But I think you should. And yeah, it's a luxury product, it's 150 grand. But this isn't somebody's only car. It's not their third car. It's not their 10th car. It might be their 10th car. It's probably not their 5th. You know, this is for the kind of car collector who has already got everything. They've got everything in their garage or wherever they keep their cars. There are dozens of cars. And they want one of these because they like cars and they like classic minis. And they like the idea of driving one in a city centre. It's not supposed to be affordable. It's not supposed to be like the original Mini was. It's supposed to be a luxury item. This car was launched at a very expensive furniture shop in Chelsea. Timothy Alton on the King's Road. It's always supposed to be a luxury item. And as a luxury item, it works. It's beautifully made, it looks fantastic, it smells good, it's comfortable. Everything you touch feels high quality. And that includes the drivetrain. It feels quite sophisticated when you accelerate and when you brake. Yeah, I would have one. If I had, you know, 5 cars already, 3 cars already even, and if I had 150 grand to spend on a toy, because that's what it is, then I would. Simple as that. It is pretty quick. And it's quick enough, instead of a cheeky you get away with it kind of way, it is quick enough. So much of London is a 20-mile-an-hour limit now that it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as you can get away from the lights in good fashion, that's all you really need. See if the people of the King's Road care about the Mini eMastered. Or are they too busy shopping? I think they might be too busy shopping. I'm smiling. That's all you need, isn't it, really, in a car like this? If it makes you smile, it makes you happy, it makes other people smile, job done. Tell you what, these wheels, steering wheels, they look beautiful, but my God, they blind you. Shiny metal. Oh well. Feels great though, doesn't it? Looks fantastic. I love the size of this car means you just don't worry about traffic. Like, yeah, there's traffic around you and it's big because this car's so small and you feel a little bit vulnerable sometimes, but you don't need to worry about the width. So often in London, you get stuck because your car's too wide, or you hesitate because you can't work out if you can get through a gap or not. Not so in an old Mini. It's brilliant. I could go through the width restrictor on Albert Bridge and it'd be fine. Right, that then is the Mini reimagined by David Brown Automotive. And yeah, it's expensive, but it's absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I want one. Yeah, I think it's great. And like I was saying earlier, it is a luxury item. It only appeals to a few people. You know, it's a small market, but that's fine. You know, people spend a lot of money on watches and handbags and paintings and bits of furniture and all sorts of stuff. Why not spend money on something like this that's beautifully made, looks fantastic, and you can actually go and use, and you can drive around London without emitting any pollution. Well, that's it then. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this, please do click like. If you've really liked it, maybe click subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.